And we are back. Hope you enjoyed that break that we've had there to resolve some of our difficulties. And the age-old advice adage still works. If your internet is dropping, just drop it and then pick it back up.
Just don't try to catch it while it's dropping.
Yeah.
Just let it fall. Just let it fall.
Pick it back up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to be continuing here. We did have confirmation. We were able to kind of conclude our last series. Unfortunately, it wasn't live, but we recorded it.
Yeah.
We'll release it in the VOD.
Yeah.
Is what we shall do. But anyway, we're going to continue on and with our first semifinals of the evening. And it's going to be a cheeky little PVZ where we're here in the top left-hand corner map, swatting all the way in the top left. We, of course, have our blue Zerg player coming out from the land of Korea. He is currently teamless, but based on his avatar or profile picture, apparently representing Maru, he is Rogue.
And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the red Protoss player representing Club NV. Just took down Rex in a very close series. Again, we apologize for the stream going down earlier, but everything should be smooth sailings from here on forward. It is Creator.
Just like butter.
Yeah. On toast.
Or margarine, if you prefer. Which, if you do, then you don't.
What?
It's not real butter.
If you do, you don't. It is. What is butter? What is butter?
Butter.
Butter?
It's like butter.
Yeah.
It's like milk that you shake
Yeah. And bake.
until it becomes yellow and solid.
There you go.
And you can put salt in it.
Can.
And then the liquid that you have remaining you can use for pancakes. It's called buttermilk. Is the,
Oh, that's
the
buttermilk
liquid.
pancakes. Oh, is that how that works?
I think so. I
You're
mean,
like,
buttermilk is just like the excess milk, right? When you
Mm.
make butter.
Mm.
It's not butter mixed with milk.
Right.
That's a different drink.
What about
that
I
you
was
can
about
find
to
in
say what about
Taiwan
I was about to
and
say
Vietnam.
what about like buttermilk drinks though? Like
I mean, that's just butter mixed with milk. Okay, but I think it's important to point out, butter coffee is not butter with coffee.
It isn't?
It's coffee beans that were roasted with butter.
Ah, there you go. There you go.
Butter.
As we learn about how butter is made, we are going to be opening up with an aggressive opener. We have Creator going for a Twilight Council. Now, we apologize again for not being able to, or for the stream being a little bit unstable when it comes to covering Rex, but we saw this a little bit earlier on this map even. Wait, was it this map or was it?
No, that was Oceanborn.
Oceanborn. On Oceanborn, we saw a DT opener from Creator into an Archon drop, and there it is! It's the same build.
Coming in once again. It was pretty successful, all things considered in the end there for Creator. It did rely a lot on the fact that Rex was going all in multiple times against him, and Creator just barely being able to eke out enough Immortals, enough Stalkers, enough Archons at one point as well, to be able to defend and just deflect those all in. So we'll have to keep our eyes peeled and see how it works this time against Rogue, who, at least in game number 1, I can't imagine is going to be as aggressive.
Yeah, and we weren't able to cover Rogue's previous series as we're rushing into a very fast Roach One. That was a 4-minute Roach One here out of Rogue. But we weren't able to cover his series versus Stats. I believe that was covered by Wardy and by Biomorph. We were busy covering other matches, and yeah, I'm curious how this all does piece together here as the Roach One is on the way. And with that, we're going to have access to faster Roaches. Lings are amassing as well.
So maybe he is playing to be aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, a 4-minute Roach One is solid against something like a Glaive Adept opener, so you could just be reading this as Glaive Adepts, or even, again, Twilight Council opener, which it is going to be. The Prism has been scouted, Rogue is getting ready, the DTs are soon going to be upon us, and do we have detection? We do have Spores on the way at the natural and at the third.
Just like so.
Nope.
Prism get a siege up directly on top of these queens, but the DTs will finish regardless. Spores are about done-ish. Like the positioning of these ZTs, just... yeah, they know they can't really go in behind any mineral lines, so... just gonna be, keeping Rogue on his toes for a little while before morphing into Archons.
Yeah, there was an opportunity to maybe dip into the main, as the Spore in the main base wasn't quite done, but we didn't take that chance, didn't take that risk. We instead head on forward here. We shut down an Overlord at least, and we do at least threaten Rogue on this 3-base setup. We do see more Roaches on the way. We have to be careful here, respecting those Queens. For now, just working with our shields, and we shouldn't be losing anything here. Yeah, so far, good control from Creator.
Yeah, nicely done. Not good losing anything. Hasn't dealt any major damage so far, but hasn't lost anything either, so... still a chance. This opening has not been deflected yet, has not fallen on its face.
Yeah, as we do manage to catch a queen. Good pick up there from a creator. We start to step over towards the right-hand side. Can we get another queen? It's going to be close here. Oh, we do not. The queen does survive, and the prism is forced out. Throughout all of this, behind this, creator is building up an immortal and charged lot composition.
Yeah, and this was kind of what we were waiting to see from creator in his series versus Rex. Didn't quite get to show it off, but this is kind of what he's been known for a little. What he's developed a bit of a reputation for in these past couple of years. Just really strong, kind of off-key, but strong nonetheless. Charged Archon timings.
Oh, exactly, and there it is. Charge is about to finish up. The immortals are building up as well. I'm curious if we are planning to hit that timing, if we do move out, or if we just chill back at home and take a slower approach instead. I feel like a lot is also going to depend on Rogue and what he's up to, because Rogue is going for Aspire.
Yeah, interesting choice coming out from Rogue, especially now that he has scouted these Archons. Mutas, of course, can still get a lot done, especially if you avoid the main army and just get into the mineral lines, but there's also a possibility that Rogue decides to rush into Brute Lords, which we've seen a couple of Zerg players do in ZVP, and we've seen it work out pretty well. But that was mostly when they were facing players who were kind of known for trying to get into earlier fleet beacons.
Yeah, and Creator isn't really that kind of player. Like, when I think of Fast Fleet Beacon and Stargate play, we've seen Hero dabble in that, we've seen Classic embrace that. To quickly check the vision though, Creator, he did scout the spy with the hallucination. Big moment here from Creator. He's going to be pulling all the way back and setting up with a more static defense, more shield batteries in the main base and the natural.
Yeah, he knows that that's going to be the prime targets now for all these Mutalisks. He's going to hang back and try to defend against that. This does mean that he's giving up map control to Rogue, which is pretty scary to consider right now, as Rogue is free to expand, is free to just drone up and do whatever. He's not doing either of them yet, focusing more on his army production. Yeah. But I think once he scouts the main army back at home, he will recognize that, he's just free to do whatever.
Exactly, as the Mutas, they do dip between the bases, but they have been revealed, and we scouted them earlier. They head towards that third base. Archons are keeping up, Stalkers are keeping up as well. We do catch a couple of probes though. Oh, barely not.
I'm surprised at the lack of cannons here for Creator.
Yeah, he's cutting corners.
Yeah, cutting corners, relying entirely on his Archons. He desperately wants to get to the next phase of the game, which involves... Actually, no, he skipped the Forge entirely. That's why he doesn't have cannons.
Yeah, there was no Forge. And when we're committing anyway, Creator, he does have quite a hefty army to work with. Mutas, they go for the run by into the main base. They get a couple of probes here and there, but here we go. We are pushing out Creator with a death blow of an army. He wants to end the game here and now with this push.
Yeah, I think he's recognized that committing to these Mutalisks does mean that Rogue will have a little bit of a weakened ground army. Still a massive roach count that he has to be very worried about. He has to make sure that his force fields are on point, but I think he has recognized that all Rogue has is all he's got. There is no secret second army behind all of this.
The problem as well is you said look at all those roaches. True, but look at all these immortals. That's what? Yeah. 6 immortals with the main army? That is insane. Lings, they do bust through across the map and they cause a bit of chaos, a bit of havoc. Creator does get a kill on the base, and he's maybe taking a little bit too long. A lot of Banelings just morphed in. They're not ideal against this army, but they do help against the Zealots. They do help support the army of Rogue. Creator just biding his time, still busy dealing with those Mutas. The Mutas, they get even more damage done.
Yeah, 2 entire mineral lines. 1 entire mineral line has gone down. 2 of them have been attacked, is what I was trying to get at, as 19 probes have fallen so far throughout this game. Creator very much on the back foot economically. There's no way he can keep this going, so I'm surprised at how hesitant he's been trying to push this, trying to push into Rogue.
Yeah, now Rogue has maxed out with Banelings, with Roaches, with Ravagers. Extra Ravagers were morphed in as well. Before this, he had like 2 Ravagers, so this is a risky maneuver. Creator, meanwhile, also maxing, but he does have some reinforcements still moving out across the map. He still needs a little bit more time to reinforce.
Yeah, he still needs a little bit more of that time, as the force fields will not quite pop off. A couple of biles will land on top of these sentries. It's a hefty losses right now. It's such a key unit that Creator needs to utilize as this keeps going. Because Creator has given Rogue time, Baneling Speed has finished up. His upgrades has finished up, and yeah, this was not the play here for Creator to try to hope that Rogue pushes into him instead of other way around.
Yeah, and now he's going to try to collapse on this. I mean, the force field doesn't quite catch too much. We do see Lingbane rolling in on the right-hand side. One Immortal is going to be going down. The Archons, they try to hold their own, but where are the rest of the Immortals? They're here towards the south instead.
Yeah, but here come the reinforcements from Creator. And this is a hefty, beefy Protoss army that's pushing the Roach forces back.
Yeah, we're down to how many Immortals? We're down to 5 Immortals, 2 here on the right-hand side. On the southern side, they're going to be forced back. They're looking quite vulnerable. Mutas, they're coming from behind. They're going for the Immortals.
Yeah, not enough anti-air to really deal with this. Clutch pick up on one of these Immortals. We'll be able to keep it alive. Creator juggling his heart out. Stalkers attacking the Mutalisk from below, and it is helping out, but enough time has passed. Rogue has more than enough reinforcements to deal with this.
Yeah, he cleans up the army.
Called.
GG gets called, and Rogue will take game number 1. He survives the push, cripple the economy across the map, and it did just take a little bit too long for Creator to pull the trigger there. He gave Rogue a lot of time.
Yeah, way too cautious. He was playing way too cautious early on. Or not early on, but when he did push in, is what I'm trying to say. There was a window of opportunity there. There was a window where he had the better army, he had the better upgrades, but like you said, just took him too long to pull the trigger, did not recognize the situation that he was in. And with that, Rogue was able to buy himself enough time, he was able to survive, and we're getting game number 2 with Rogue being up 1 in this best of 3.
We are getting into that next game of Rogue. 1 game away from advancing on into the grand finals as we're nearing the end of the broadcast. And do we have an opponent ready and waiting? Not yet. We just got an update. Looks like Hero took down Nightmare, took down Solar. Hero's up against Shin in the lower semifinals.
There we go. Potentially we have a PvZ or a PvP or a ZvZ in those grand finals, but that's what we're here to determine. As we continue our series, our semifinals, spawning in onto Oceanborn, where we're here in the top left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top left, we have our blue Protoss player coming out from the land of Korea. He, of course, is going to be representing Team Envy, Club Envy, and all of the waifus. We have Creator.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player representing himself, currently teamless, returning from the military and leading the series 1-0. It is Rogue.
Got that buzz cut going.
Yeah, he's
post-military hairstyle.
He does.
That's how recent he's come back.
Trying to regrow it as quickly as possible, as quick as he can.
It's a source of his powers, as we all know.
I mean, I'm sure he's still a sexy boy even without his hair. I'm sure. We'll just add that little spice on top.
Lost his hair, but you know, gained some muscle.
There you go. Ah, even sexier boy.
Oh.
I'm still waiting for Zest to come back. Yo, look, mate. Look what happened to Impact, right? Look what happened to Impact after military. I want to believe that Zest is going to come out just as jacked. He's going.
Well, there's potential there. That Zest, who was already kind of a bodybuilder-ish before going into the military, will come out even more jacked than Impact. There's also the potential that he goes the exact opposite direction.
Oh. What does that mean?
The military steals his muscles.
It takes it away. Oh my god. No shot.
I'll see. It depends. There was a reason why it took him a while to get in. It was apparently he had like a spinal issue.
Yeah.
So the military might keep that in mind. Might decide to, alternate when it comes to physicals. I don't know how the Korean army does it. If I'm being honest, I'm just going off of what was briefed to me by the Singapore army before they told me that, I was no use to them.
Smart. I'm sure it's okay. We'll see. We'll find out. For now, though, we're going to be setting into our setup here. Rogue just going for a hatch gas forward to a third base. Stay that open out of our Zerg player. Meanwhile, Creator this time will not go for a Twilight Council. We have a Stargate instead.
Yeah, much more standard coming out from Creator this time. And I don't think the opening was really the issue for Creator. It was more of when we got to the mid-game. He lacked that killer instinct, but, you know, I guess in game number 2, we also have to recognize that Rogue is going to be more prepared for an Archon opening, is going to be a little bit more, he doesn't want Rogue to get too used to how Creator plays, so I can't say I blame him too much for deciding to go for something a bit more standard in game number 2.
Yeah, I don't blame Creator, and I want to echo that as well. You know, the early game was pretty good for Creator. Like, he was able to stabilize, able to get into his own opener, didn't lose any of his Archons either, picked up some Queens, but now we're going to have to try and take a different pace this time instead, as the initial Adept Oracle is moving out, and we'll see how much damage Creator can get done. We'll see if Rogue can minimize his losses.
Indeed, we shall. The Adepts, good target firing, going to be able to take out a handful of drones. Oracle a little bit too idle on the outskirts of the base, so we'll be taking a little bit of hull damage. As these Adepts getting a lot done.
Yeah, they shade into the main base. 6 drones are going to be going down. We do quite well so far. 7 drones go down in total. And now we're going to be settling into our mid-game here. Creator with a nice lead. The Oracles are still amassing. We still have a third Oracle on the way. The aggression, the harassment has not ended.
It really has not. It's just taken a bit of a different form. Stalkers aren't blink yet, so really good surrounds here from Rogue. And these Oracles are across the map, not quite back at home. Third Oracle does pop out, and that's going to be enough of a deterrent here for Rogue.
Yeah, exactly. As the Lings, they just keep being active. At the same time, we get across the map. Drones are going to be going down. We had no Spore at the natural.
And just like that, Rogue will be taking a lot of damage on his mineral line. Creator will be taking a little bit of damage as well. That was a kill and not a cancel on the shield battery on the other side of the map. But he hasn't lost any workers, which I think is his major advantage right now.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the Unisol stat, that's 15 drones going down. That's basically an entire mineral line worth of workers falling already. That is an insane amount of damage dealt here. That is a bit too much.
Yeah, that's game. You're getting ready for game number 3 going in here now. We'll see. I mean, we were talking earlier about, you know, Zerg players who do well on low econ and how, you know, it's tough to do that in a mirror matchup. Well, this is a mirror matchup. So there's definitely comeback potential here for Rogue.
Speaking of comeback, we do manage to get a couple of workers here. 3 probes going to be going down. At the same time, the Oracle still being active across the map, still threatening the bases here of Rogue. As Creator going to be moving out with a set of devs behind this, +1 and Blinker on the horizon here. So working towards a standard blink transition. But Creator has done quite well for himself here when it comes to at least crippling or keeping the economy in check of Rogue.
Yeah, it's going to try to continue to keep it down, as Rogue spending a lot of larva to catch back up economically, and so far he has been able to get away with it. Creator, after getting his third base, is checking up, is getting blink, is getting +1, so yeah, it looks like similar to game number 1, he does want to go for strong, immortal stalker timing.
Yeah, we're headed in that direction at least, as Creator is getting a 4th base, so he's not going for any kind of weird 3-base all-in. Like Creator, he's working towards the mid-game here. Likewise, Rogue is taking up as well. We have a Hydra Den on the way, so looking to be Hydras into, I imagine, Lurkers if the game goes on long enough. So likewise, Rogue is taking a different approach. This time, no Mutas.
No Mutas. It's going to be going underground instead of in the air. And we were talking about how Hydra Roach is a pretty strong mid-game army composition here for ZVP, but the problem is getting there in the first place.
Yeah,
we saw in, I believe, game number 1, Creator versus Rex. That was what Rex was trying to do, but Creator recognized the situation and was just able to hit before Rex hit his final form, prevent Rex from hitting that final form in the first place. Rogue, on the other hand, has been left alone a little while longer. Might be able to get there.
Yeah, I mean, he is recovering, he is re-droning. As I say that, we do pick up a couple of workers in the main base once again. Lurker then is on the horizon. We dive into the main. The queens are out of position, and we get 9 more drones. We're going to bleed out all these oracles. We commit even more. 12 workers go down.
Very worthwhile damage here for Creator. Once again, just keeping Rogue down, and Rogue is getting into his next phase of the game. He is getting Hive, he is getting Lurker Den. This is a terrible time to be taking this much damage.
I mean, at this stage, the soup doesn't lie right now. Because of all the economic damage, Creator has a massive army supply lead. The Oracle barely escapes with 1 HP, still here in the corner of the map, getting 2 more drone kills. But here comes the main force. Rogue, he needs time. He needs time to recover. He needs time to build up that Lurker count. We have 5 Lurkers on the way. Stalkers are going to be rocking up. This shouldn't be enough to break Rogue here and now, but we're trading with the army and we're clearing up creep.
Indeed, we are. Whilst we can, Lurkers are out. They are vanilla Lurkers, and I mean, one of them even gonna get taken out before it burrows.
Yeah, we snipe a Lurker. The Colossus has arrived. The rest of the main army is rallying across the map. Here comes that War Prism. When the Prism arrives, then we can commit. Then we can just double down. We can reinforce. We can commit to a push. And it's going to be a tough hold here for Rogue. I mean, he is prioritizing Lurkers, and he does need these Lurkers to somehow pull off a defense.
Yeah, somehow. But if he's able to pull it off, he's going to be able to hit his final form, and Creator's not quite ready to deal with that just yet. I mean, he is getting his Fleet Beacon, which I definitely appreciate, but that's going to take a lot of time before that happens.
Yeah, Creator thinking further ahead, getting ready for Skytools. I don't think Creator needs to think that far ahead. I think we could probably just double down and push, but we can see Creator is expanding, taking another base, taking up as well, and Creator, I assumed that he was going to be reinforcing with that Prism, but the Prism is actually staying back at home, so looks like Creator, he's content just taking his lead and extending it.
Yeah.
Are we being too passive?
Just gonna... Well, that was the problem in game number 1 here, but here in game number 2, maybe not. Maybe it is the right play, as Creator is still expanding, like you mentioned, and you know he is secking up. He is planning. He is thinking about the late game, so it might be the right call.
Yeah, I mean, there's a nice contamination. We do delay +2. We're working towards Storm as well behind this for Creator. Like, again, Creator's still in a good position, but again, he's giving Rogue the opportunity to come back into this. As the Lurker count is getting higher and higher, Nidus Worm is on the way to be able to counterattack across the map, and the Vipers have arrived. So now we have an answer to the Colossus. Now, if Creator did want to push in, we've missed our timing. Rogue has what he needs to defend.
Yeah, he really does.
Oh!
Or does he, as Creator does fight a little bit of a kink in the armor and is able to take out a couple of Lurkers for not that much damage.
Pretty good pickups here from a Creator to snipe 2 Lurkers. Additional Lurkers on the way. We have the Mothership in production. We have Prism Speed. We snipe a Queen. These are some nice pickups here from a Creator. I'm still a little bit uneasy just because, again, Creator is taking more than anything. But we'll see if again, he gets away with it. Madness in the main.
And it's in the main. But it does get scouted, and is this going to be enough to take it out? Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, it looks like it's barely going to be going down. At the same time, the Roach Hydra army pushing through the center. Not quite committing yet here, as it looks like Creator, he's in position. He has Storms as well.
Yeah, just waiting to, just like that, utilize him. Rogue, well aware that he needs to fight back. That's why he's committing so hard to prevent Creator from reaching this final form of Sky Toss.
Yes, here we go. We get a big, nice feedback on the Viper Storm as well on the Hydras.
At that point, it's basically an EMP, right? Yeah. with that many feedbacks in quick succession. That was nicely done.
Very nicely done. The Lurkers are slowly trying to gain some ground here. The Skytoss transition has not begun. We have +1 air attack on the way, but I believe we don't have any Stargates. Or we have one, but we don't have a setup of Stargates to actually get into this. Nidus Worm going to be going down. It looks like Creator wants to try to surround and collapse on this army.
Kind of, as the rest of his army is just going for the push.
We're going for the base trade.
Yeah, going for the base trade. Or I should say, giving Rogue the opportunity to base trade.
Yeah, here we go. We have the cloak on the mothership. Third base is going to be going down at the same time. Creator pushing in, and there are no lurkers back at home to defend. There's almost nothing at home to defend.
No, there isn't. This Viper is so exposed, and it will get taken out by the Stalkers. I don't believe Rogue has any anti-air on the other side of the map.
He doesn't. It looks like the Hydras are going to be racing back home. A couple of lurkers are racing back home as well. And do we have detection? We do. We have plenty of observers here. Rogue, can we defend? Can we push up this ramp?
Not by the looks of things. He's going to try, but these Colossus will outrange Vanilla's... Vanilla? Yeah, Vanilla. Kind of Vanilla. Kind of Vanilla's lurkers.
Yeah, but we got to surround it. Looks like we cleaned up the Immortals. Rogue barely holding on, but here comes an additional wave of Immortals to reinforce. GG gets called Creator. He has just too much, and Creator takes game number 2, tying up the series 1-1.
GG. Creator just kind of tightening things up for after game number 1. I mean, he had a completely different opening, but even still, the control on his Adepts and his Oracles in the early game going into a mid-game where he was much better situated to just think ahead and get into that final form instead of trying to go for a timing, but also not fully committing to the timing, which was kind of his issue in game number 1.
Yeah.
I mean, from Creator.
It definitely left me uneasy. Not gonna lie. Like, I was the entire time I was like, "Yo, are we being too passive? Are we giving Rogue too much of an opportunity to bounce back into this?" I mean, in the end, we were able to, or Creator was able to close it out, but it did cause a base trade. You know, it was still a very close end of the game.
Yeah, that was definitely a decision from Creator to go for the base trade instead of, taking out the army when he kind of had Rogue trapped, but in the end it did work out for him, so yeah, I can't blame him too much for that. As he did recognize that Rogue didn't have that many Hydras on his side of the map, so he was investing into a fleet beacon anyway, he was getting his mothership anyway, so yeah, he would have been able to defend regardless.
For sure.
I guess was the rationale.
I just saw in the chat, imagine Yaku walking up to a lurker and licking it a few times to exclaim the vanilla lurkers.
That's yeah, the mouthfeel and the flavor.
Oh no. Ask a question, what other flavor lurkers are there? I mean, vanilla...
Oh, there's got to be citrus.
Sour lurkers?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Like they have baling acid sprinkled on top,
I would say there's got to be spicy lurkers, right?
Oh, yeah, spicy sour.
Oh god.
Like how you can have mango chili margaritas.
True. There you go.
Yeah. Or it's like when you have just like the chili powder on top of the fruit. So that's like baling acid is like the sauce. Is what I'm trying to get at.
The sauce?
On top of the lurkers. The sauce.
There's gonna be salty lurkers, right? There's gonna be like soy sauce flavored lurkers, like.
Ooh, stir fry.
Yeah.
But then you just chew it. You don't like.
You can suck on some stir fry.
You can. It's gotta be like frozen stir fry popsicles. Anyway, here we are in our ace match of the semifinals. Here, gonna be figuring out who advances to those grand finals. And we're continuing on with our PVZ, Hunt-Site Delta. Here in the top left-hand corner map, we have our blue Rotos player coming out from the land of Korea. He's gonna be representing Team Envy. We have Creator.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Zerga player representing himself, currently teamless, returning from the military, being forced into the ace match. Can we bounce back? It is Rogue.
Lurkers are probably very earthy, now that I think about it.
Earthy?
Yeah, kind of earthy.
It's like badgers. Like burrow.
Yeah, like mushrooms.
Like platypus.
Yeah.
They make burrows.
They make burro.
Yeah. Burrito.
Under the ground.
Burrito. God, I'm just hungry. I just want to eat some some stir-fry ice cream burritos.
Ooh. Have you ever had fried ice cream?
I think I have. I think so. Yeah. That's like a common like Southeast Asian thing, right? Like.
Yeah, it's like street food here.
Yeah, street food. Yeah. It's basically you get ice cream, but you like coat it. You coat it in batter and you fry that. Right?
Yeah, you batter it and then you deep fry it.
Yeah.
You think it will melt, and sometimes it does. But when it doesn't,
there you go. Buttermilk.
Yeah.
Can you
shake it?
Yeah. Can you batter it up with buttermilk? Like batter?
I mean, you can. Yeah, you probably could. It's like milk batter is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very common because I don't think it really makes that much of a difference.
It probably doesn't. Yeah.
I mean, water is just a lot cheaper, and it doesn't make that much of a difference if you use milk.
Yeah.
But you probably could.
There you go. As we're just settling into our game here, Hashgas, we'll save that opener out of our Zerga player. Likewise, nothing too fancy from our Protoss, as it's going to be another Stargate opener. Rogue is making an extra wave of Lings, but I believe it's just for map control, just to make sure, we don't take too much from the Adepts. Rogue just taking it very seriously, trying to minimize his losses.
Yeah. Spoke about Creator tightening things up after game number 1, and now it looks like Rogue is, doing likewise. He's recognized that the damage he took from Creator was a little bit too much in the early game. I mean, you called it. 15 drones going down. I mean, that was game end there. It just kept going.
That was you.
Won,
that was you calling playing. That. You're like, that's game.
Was it?
That was you.
Was it, though? Was it me? I seem to recall those words being said.
Yeah. Shading into the main. And I'm saying Shade is the main, but I'm saying can one-shot drones. Drones are going to be targeted down. We get 1 so far. We get 2. We're going to get a 3rd. Can we get 4? Up.
Indeed, we can. Lings, unfortunately, not quite in position to deal with this, but thankfully we do have these 2 queens, and they were able to get quite a lot of damage. Massive stasis ward in the 3rd base. I say 3rd base. It was actually a unnatural natural.
Yeah.
And on top of that, a little bit of damage, a little bit of drone damage as well. Creator, despite Rogue being a lot quicker on the defense this time, is still able to get a lot of damage done. That Oracle only took hull damage, and we also have a 2nd Oracle back home for defense.
Exactly. Lings, they try to counterattack.
Clean early game.
Yeah, they hit the 3rd base. We defend the 3rd as well. The Lings, they do nothing. And now we're up to 2 Oracles. Sorry, we're soon to be up to 3 Oracles here to harass across the map, and we'll see if Rogue can minimize his losses. It's been a rough start for him. We saw how things can become dire in game number 2. And Creator, he's looking to replicate that. He's looking to do it once again.
Yeah. I mean, as you pointed out, taking 15 drones, losing 15 drones that early is basically game.
Mm-hmm. I didn't say that. Shaking my head. As the
lighting isn't working.
That's the Oracles they dip into the main. Ooh, 1 Oracle does go down, so a much cleaner defense here out of Rogue, as this time he was in position with those 2 queens. It will minimize his losses. But again, this is kind of the first step here on that road to recovery for Rogue back at home. That's a lot of Adepts, and they are vanilla Adepts. Tasted them.
They are vanilla Adepts. Twilight Council now getting thrown out, but we do have a Warpism, so regardless, Creator's being pretty committed. Just as I'm committed to the gaslighting of light.
There we go. As I say, get across the map. Queen's going to be pushing forward, but Elastic Queen's out of position. The drones are exposed.
Yeah, a couple of them going to be going down. Oracle's trying to throw down some stasis wards, but they will not complete. Creator will lose those stasis, will lose those Oracles, will not be able to get those stasis wards, and he's going to have a difficult time getting out of here, retreating with all of his Adepts.
Yeah, he's gonna have a hard time, but he does not shade in. Yeah, he pulls back. In the end, we have a prison behind this to reinforce. Charges on the way, Archon production, Immortals on the horizon. As Creator is not all in, he's saturating his 3rd base. He's just getting economic damage done and getting ahead, or taking a lead.
Like so. Creator not gonna be Rogue, sorry, not gonna be taking this lying down though, as despite his losses, he has been able to almost reset the Oracle count earlier on. He knows that he has a very flexible, elastic defense with these queens and these lings, so he is still going to be teching up. He is about to finish up the infestation pit.
And the pit is on the way. Oracle taking a lot of hits here at the natural. At the same time, Prism tried to go for the main, but Rogue was ready. He was in position. This time he does deflect the Prism. Rogue is holding on to his 3, soon-to-be 4 base setup. But back at home, Creator, he's not content with just the Gateway Army. We have Storm just now starting.
Yeah. Creator still needs time to hit his final form. And Rogue is willing to give him that time, but obviously preparation goes both ways. You know, Rogue in all this time. Hive is about to finish up, or Hive is on the way, Lurker Den is on the way, and I think we should be seeing a much crisper transition to Lurkers compared to what we saw in Oceanborn.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, similarly, Rogue is taking up into Hydra, Lurker, Viper, but as you mentioned, this time he has taken less damage. 14 drones have gone down. At this point in the previous game, would have lost over, I think it was around 25 drones had fallen already. Yeah. So Rogue is in a slightly better position, still taking a lot of damage. He's going for the High Templar!
Forced to morph in an Archon, and he will be losing the Archon regardless. Whew. Nice pick off here from Rogue.
Very nicely done as we do open an extra wave of High Templar behind this. We still have Storms available here. Storm is now done for Creator, but he's going to be stuck at home, still building up his forces. And does Rogue have enough time to get into his Lurkers?
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to call it now. He's going to get the Lurkers out. I'm not going to call whether it's game or not. That's more of a you thing.
You're an animal, Bobby. You're an animal. Shake your head. As we're settling into our fourth, we are going into interesting double immortal production. Okay, so a very heavy immortal count here from a Creator. Storm on the way as well. We do have our stations. We do catch some lings. Rogue won't be able to break or really do much economic damage yet here, as we even get some more adepts into the natural.
Yeah, vanilla adepts still getting a lot done for drones, which at this stage of the game is not exactly, I mean, it's not game ending, but it's not exactly negligible either.
Yeah, exactly. And because of that, both players are soon to max. And you may be thinking like, oh, I mean, wouldn't that make things even? Well, typically the Zerg players should be the first to max out. They should be the first to reach that critical mass, to harass across the map, to have the better economy, to replace what they lose. That is not going to be the case here, though, as Creator is just barely behind him when it comes to that 200 supply.
Yeah, Rogue technically is going to be the first player to max out, but like you said, it's not a big enough head start for Rogue to really, for him to really start leveraging that endgame economy. I'm very impressed with what Creator's been able to pull off with just a handful of gateway units here and there. This wasn't a mass warp in by any means. Okay, this was a little bit of a larger warp in to the main, but with 2 adepts, 2 zealots, 2 just handfuls of gateway units here and there, he's been able to really pull off a massive harass. The warp prism will fall, but not before another warp in of zealots completes.
Yeah, we get in once again into the main base. It should be cleaned up, but 19 drones go down. That was an insane amount of economic damage. Rogue has remaxed, but Rogue has not replaced those drones. We're going to be maxing out on Roach Hydra. Do we have any Lurkers? We have 10. That's a decent Lurker count, to be fair, and the Hive upgrades are finishing up. So Rogue does have an army, but Rogue does not have the economy to replace this. He has to be very careful with how he engages. Has to be as efficient as possible.
Yeah, so make sure he has his detection as Mothership is about a quarter of the way done. Unfortunately, little body blocking, really good stasis traps set up here from Creator.
Yeah, we do see the storms from behind as well. Oh my god, we blanket the Hydras. Massive storms here on the army, and Rogue, his army is battered and bruised. We have to keep pushing.
Yeah, just blanketed the entire area, blanketed the retreat as well here, so pretty much every single Hydra was taking storm damage. Rogue forced to burrow in a bit of an inopportune position.
And we still have more storms. We still have more storms available. We're diving on in towards that natural base. We can collapse on this from multiple angles. The surround!
Yeah, huge surround. High Templar are about to be taken out, though! And that's an unfortunate loss for Creator, but Rogue is still bleeding out way more units.
That pit of blood used to be an army. That there was once an army here, and you can see
Rogue
Rogue
was the army.
Rogue, he plummets in supplies down to 140 supply here. Zealot harass once again across the map. We even get, okay, I thought it was a prism coming in, but Zealots at the southern base. 9 more drones fall, and Creator, he holds.
He does, in fact, hold. He's getting onto his 5 base economy, and he's started carrier production already. Creator is not too far away from hitting his final form. Rogue, I mean, kind of hit his final form a while ago, but that wasn't enough to break Creator. Now he has to not only rebuild all of those units, he also has to bank up enough resources to be able to remax, as it feels like it's inevitable that Rogue's gonna bleed out units. I mean, that's what Zerg is supposed to do at this stage of the game. Zerg is supposed to bleed out units and then quickly remax and just keep pummeling your Protoss opponent, but unfortunately for Rogue, he doesn't have the economic setup
exactly
to get to that point.
He's just now droning up, just now getting up to a decent economy, and you can see here that he's just struggling to max out. He's still stuck at 170 supply. He's down in said army supply, and Creator, what's terrifying is it's replacing his army with Sky Toss. It's no longer just about the ground army, but carriers have been amassing. We have our first carrier already out. Second is on the horizon as well, as unfortunately we only have 1 Stargate, so we don't have the production for it, but it's coming.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, because I was looking just 1 carrier producer at a time. That can't be right. Well, it was. It is right when you only have 1 Stargate to work off of. Once again, beautiful storms blanketing just about the entire Zerg army. Revelation going to reveal just about every lurker as well, almost every lurker.
Yeah, we just see Creator trying to outmaneuver his opponent with a very small army. This is interesting. We do have some storms available, but we have to be careful here, as, the cloak is going to be activated at the same time, though we do manage to slip in DTs. They get 16 drones.
That's game-ending damage. I'm calling it here. As more storms do get on top of the Zerg army, Zealots continuing to pick Rogue apart. Creator is well aware that Rogue doesn't have a mobile army to work off of. He has a small army, and it's an army that cannot move quickly between these bases.
It really cannot, as we bleed out 2 hatcheries, the one on the left, the one on the right. We have DTs in the mineral lines. 22 drones go down. Rogue does have a mass amount of lurkers. He has 15 lurkers, but only 8 hydras. The anti-air is a little bit lackluster here for Rogue.
The anti-air is a little bit lackluster, but so is the air, in all fairness.
Yeah, exactly.
If Rogue can... I was going to say, if Rogue can somehow take out this ground army with his lurkers and then mass up on hydras, and there is a path, but I just glanced at the resource bank slide, and it's not looking good for Rogue.
I mean, we'll see if we can make something happen here. Storm does graze the army, pushing forward. We take a stasis to the face, slowing down the force, but it looks like we will get on top of this Nexus. The base may be going down, trying to remax on carrier, but alas, Creator, he has no supply. He's maxed out. He can't make any more carriers.
I'm getting deja vu from game number 1 here, Light.
Yeah, we're base trading.
We are base trading, and Creator knows that he has the better end of this base trade. Not only does he have recall available if he so needs to, but I mean, you were mentioning he's remaxing on carriers, and there's barely any anti-air back home here for or on the other side of the map there for Rogue.
Yeah, a lot of High Templar just went down. They did end up going a little bit too close to lurkers, but GG gets called as we snowball out of control, and Creator will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals.
Wow. That was... yeah. I'm honestly pretty impressed with how Creator played out this series. Specifically because game number 1 worried me quite a bit here for Creator.
Oh yeah, game 1 was a little bit worrisome, but Creator, he really did find his stride here in game number 3, where he was able to have that amazing economic damage, or that amazing harassment, followed up, of course, this time with teching up, with getting ahead, and just non-stop aggression here, not just with the Adept Oracle harass at the beginning of the game, but also with the Zealot drops, Zealot run-bys, DT counterattacks as well. It was insane what Creator was able to accomplish.
Yeah, GG. Really good adaptations coming out from Creator here, as it seemed like after game number 1, he was very quick to recognize that, timing attacks, not quite gonna work out, or at least specifically that Archon Immortal composition that he went for probably wasn't gonna work out too well for him. I mean, obviously a big issue that he had in game number 1 specifically was it felt like he was playing overly cautious, but he also was playing cautiously because of his army composition, right? He didn't have a strong backline like he did in game number. He didn't have a strong backline of splash damage specifically. I should clarify, like he did in game number 2 and game number 3 in the form of those storms.
Mhm.
So it was really important for Creator to recognize that, switch up his game plan a little bit, and of course tighten up on his mechanics a little bit, his control, his early game. GG, very nicely done here for Creator, and it looks like he does have an opponent ready for him.
We have an opponent. It's going to be a PvP Grand Finals as Hero took down Shin 2-1. It did go all the way to the ace match. Hero, fun fact, if you look at the bracket, Hero went to the ace match against Nightmare, against Solar, against Shin. It's been, I mean, actually looking at the bracket in general, there's been a lot of back and forth going on scattered throughout the entire tournament. It isn't just Hero. Creator as well did ace match his way all the way to the finals. Does that mean anything? Are we going to game 5?
I think we're going to game 5, but I'm worried that we'll get into game 5 sooner than we would like.
It's very possible.
It's PvP.
It's very possible, very possible. GG, well played. Hero does take down Shin 2-1, and it's going to be a PvP Grand Finals between Hero and Creator.
Indeed, it is. Oh boy. I think looking at this bracket at the start of the day, this probably wasn't the Grand Finals that we were expecting, and it definitely wasn't the path that we were expecting from either of our finalists, honestly. I mean, Hero obviously is a big name. It's not too surprising for him to be in the Grand Finals, but to have to ace match the entire time is a bit of a surprise. And of course, Creator is a bit more of a toss-up. You know, you see him on a bracket, it's 50-50 whether or not he's going to make it to the finals, and it's especially jarring to see him have to go through Skilless, Rex instead of Dark, and then later Rogue to make it to these Grand Finals.
I mean, I feel like Creator has to message and give some love and like maybe take take Rex out for a drink or something after this, because Rex allowed this to happen, potentially, of course, as Rex was one to eliminate Dark early on, and without Dark it was all up in the air with who would advance on into those Grand Finals. And here we can see this week it's Creator.
Yeah. It feels like, you know, the pattern normally dictates our Grand Finals. It's gotta be Dark versus Hero. Who else is it gonna be but Rex today? Yeah. He says fate. He took fate into his own hands.
Did take it into his own hands, was able to win that series. Again, we do apologize for the stream going down earlier. We did cast Rex versus Dark. We casted Rex versus Creator as well as Euthermal versus Rex. So you can check out the VODs over on our YouTube and Twitch, as that was broadcasted earlier today. We just had to end the stream and restart it because unfortunately my internet was just a little bit unstable.
Yeah, we did record it though. We did record the tail end of Creator versus Rex, so it's not going to be in the... It's not going to immediately be in the Twitch VOD, unfortunately, but we will be uploading it very, very soon to YouTube.
There you go. It is going to be on the YouTubes once that's all cut together. But yeah, for now, we're getting ready for the Grand Finals, and because it's been a bit of a chaotic broadcast, we weren't able to do this before, but predictions in the chat, your Gamba is going to get going.
Oh. Let's go. Let's get our Gundam. No, that's different.
That's not something else.
Our Vangeli. No, that's different.
We're gonna get our My Hero Academia. Oh, I see.
Oh, we're gonna get our
Spy Next Door. What's it
Genji.
called? Gonna Genshin Impact it up. That does yeah, get your gacha going. There you go.
Yeah, gotcha. There we go. Gotta get our Ginkgo.
Uh-huh.
It's a nut.
Thank you for that.
Type of nut.
I'm running out of peanuts. I bought like a big bag of peanuts, and it's lasted me a month, and now I'm running out. Running out of peanuts. Right.
I could go for some nuts.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
have walnuts.
It's like a really
Oh
good.
no, I think I have almonds.
It's a really good snack food to have, like just some, you know.
Yeah.
Some snacks in between casts.
Yeah. Gotta get them in your mouth, you know.
Yeah. Get them in.
It's a protein. Put them nuts in your mouth. I would love to make trail mix one. I would love to just because I mean, trail mix. I mean, that's easy. You just throw some nuts, some seeds, some craisins. If you want, you can put some chocolate in there.
Yeah.
M&Ms if you want as well. I would want an excuse to have trail mix. Like, I want to actually go on a trail and eat trail mix instead of just sitting at my desk
Okay.
and stuffing it in my face.
I see. You're like, mate, the trail mix, it just hits a little bit different when you're out in nature, when you're in the wilderness, when you don't really know where you are, whether you're going to live or survive, and you just need that trail mix to get you going.
It tastes better when you know you have to defend it against the monkeys and sometimes the birds, but usually the monkeys.
I was about to say that do you even have like hiking trails in Singapore? Is that a thing?
We have some. Yeah, we have some.
Oh, okay.
We have one of them that every year they take the students out to be like, we gotta get these kids to not be fat. So we take them onto the trail.
Fair enough.
Incidentally, all of them are also one of the trails. I think the oldest trail is located in Monkey Town. But the monkeys have also learned about the other trails recently, so they're branching out. The problem is the other trails, they have sea otters in them, so sometimes the monkeys, they don't want to tangle with that.
Yeah, there you go.
They have gang wars.
Yeah, they control that territory. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine that. Yeah, especially the trail in Monkey Town would be a little bit treacherous, just because I'm sure the monkeys are used to humans feeding them, so they would be a little bit more active.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unironically, that's like a big problem.
Yeah. So
as a kid, I will admit I was part of the problem as a kid, because I used to think I was a scientist and be like, if I give the monkey fruit, I can like write down in this foolscap pad what it does. I'm like, yes, it eats it. Interesting.
You figured it out.
I was part of the problem. Yeah.
No.
I'll admit to that, but that's our PSA. Don't feed the monkeys.
There you go. For those, I just realized that like there may be people wondering, why the hell? What are they talking about? What? In Singapore, there are marauding bands of wild monkeys, and it is a bit of a problem.
They're getting bold. There was a video posted recently of a monkey just strolling into a convenience store, and taking a loaf of bread. And just climbing a tree with it.
Oh no. They're taking our food. They're not content with the trail mix, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Gonna take our lurkers, our lunkers.
You're gonna lick them.
Alright, well here we go. Looks like for those that are curious,
Southeast Asia in general.
we were just buying.
As you were mentioning,
Mm-hmm.
It's a problem in Singapore. It's a problem in Southeast Asia in general.
Yeah. We're just buying some time here, but it looks like our players are ready. Creator and Hero, they were just conducting their vetoes.
Did we get there?
And they were conducting their vetoes, and now we're diving into game one. We're diving into the grand finals of ESL Open Cup Asia 229.
Indeed, we are in a best of 5 grand finals. Going to be kicking things off here on Ghost River. Interesting choice to start a PvP, but I support this. I'm all for more Ghost River PvP action. In the top left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top left-hand corner, we of course have our red Protoss player coming down from the land of Korea. He's of course going to be representing Dragon Kai-Z Gaming. We have Hero.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player representing Club NV. Making his way here to the grand final, taking down Rogue in those semis. Can he go even further? It is Creator. Here we go, and as we load into Ghost River, yeah. He's still thinking about the trail mix.
Well, it was a mistake to talk about food.
I'm
feeling the rumbles.
Yes, I'm also hungry. Smooch. We're settling into our PvP. It's going to be a 2-gate opener out of one player, 2-gate opener out of the other as well. The rush distance by ground is quite short on this map on Ghost River, so you can be quite aggressive. So we'll keep an eye on our players to see if anyone does go for a 1-base all-in. There is no proxy, there is no pro battle on the map, but that won't stop players from being aggressive.
Yeah, it should not at the very least, especially not on Ghost River, which is the shortest rush distance map in the current pool. I don't think... I have to think back now. I can't really seem to recall many PvPs. No, that's not true. We had Classic versus... Was it Skillus the other day?
Skillus versus... Hero?
Potentially? It might have been that.
Oh, was the
We've had a few. That was the Stars of War 11. I would say we had Classic versus... Not DNS. Shadowed, maybe?
Yeah.
In WTL?
I think that was last week in WTL, yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, and we have definitely seen some of our Protoss players really embrace the short distance of Ghost River.
Oh yeah, we definitely have. I remember what you were talking about. Oh god, who was it? Oh god, maybe involving Firefly, maybe involving Goblin. Like those.
Oh, I think it was Firefly.
Yeah.
Classic versus Firefly.
There you go. But yeah, we have seen a lot of aggression here on this map. For now, we do see a Robo Opener from our red Protoss player Hero with a Robo Opener. We can go into a fast Immortal. This should be just a safer, more defensive opener from our red Protoss. Meanwhile, Creator opening up Twilight Council towards Blink. Now with our sentries, with our hallucinations, Hero will confirm everything. So will Creator.
Yeah, so I'm honestly pretty surprised that we're not seeing anything too overtly aggressive coming up from other players, but I guess it is game number 1. They do want to suss each other out. I'm sure Hero was expecting to face Creator in the grand final, so can't fault either of them for just trying to figure out what their opponents have planned.
Yeah, exactly. As we do see Hero going for a more aggressive variant of Robo Opener by going for the War Prism first. With this War Prism, the goal here is to harass with these Adepts. We're going to be dropping the Adepts right into the main base, avoiding the wall and shading on in, looking for some economic damage. We'll see if Hero can get that done. Meanwhile, we do see Creator on the other side, just splitting up his forces, defending here on 2 bases and getting his gateways up and running. I imagine soon looking to expand and take a 3rd.
That would be ideal. But so far, yeah, it's pretty normal things. Creator taking up hard, and all this could be the first player to start researching Blink and get Blink, I should say.
Yeah, Blink is being researched as we speak, as you mentioned. Meanwhile, the Hero, his prism was scouted by the hallucination, it was spotted, and Creator is in position. He's in position to flex the prism. Adepts do not get into the main base back at home. To make up for our delayed Blink, Immortal production has commenced for Hero and Creator. He confirms everything. He confirms the Immortal and the researching Twilight Council.
So we see pretty much mirrored-ish builds. It's just that Creator's going to be quicker to get Blink, and Hero's going to be quicker to get Immortals out.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit surprised, but Hero's also the first to expand. He will be taking that 3rd base. Creator a little bit further behind in that respect, just getting to his own Immortals as well. Just a bit of a safer response from Creator, and his 3rd base shouldn't be delayed for too much longer.
Yeah, like so. As you see it on the way right now. Nice little pick off from Creator as well to take out the Observer of Hero, keep it a bit dark for a little while longer.
is going to be able to get that up and running. As you mentioned, eventually we'll be able to keep up and catch up with Hero. Meanwhile, Immortal Sentry just amassing. Because we don't have Blink, Hero's stuck at home. Once Blink kicks in, we can be a little bit more active on the map. As I say that, a Hero is going to be moving out. This is a really risky move out as well. He has to be careful here. He has a lot of force fields, that is true. As he does meet up with his Warp Prism.
That he does. So he's not going to be caught in the middle of the map. But that doesn't mean he has enough to break Creator.
And we shall see, as he does have the Immortal Lead. Shield Battery is still not quite done. It's on the way. Good force fields here out of Creator.
Yeah, pretty much boxing out all of these Immortals, but unfortunately for Creator, Hero does have that Warp Prism, so it doesn't take much to just ferry the Immortals over. Can he click on the Warp Prism? Doesn't quite have enough to take it out, it seems. The additional Immortal here from Hero is really pulling its weight. It's really putting the hurt on the stalker count. Third Immortal is now out, and there's no more battery overcharge, but there's no more Warp Prism for Hero either.
Yeah, the overcharge is about to run out, so the Immortal trying to hold on. There is no Warp Prism, but we're up to 3 Immortals, and with these 3 Immortals, it looks like it may just be too much. Boys are being pulled, but there's barely any boys to pull.
Yeah, these stalkers are so vulnerable. We have hit critical mass. GG is called, and Hero will take game number 1. Still pretty aggressive. Not quite as aggressive as we were maybe expecting, but yeah, some pretty good aggression coming out from Hero as well. Real good decisiveness to, after getting his forces blocked out by the sentries, just very quickly commit to that and juggle the Immortals over and just keep going. Rally everything across the map.
Yeah, very strong timing there from Hero to hit with his triple Immortal, and Creator just was not ready in time, just barely not ready in time there at that third base. And with that, Hero takes the first game, but at the same time, because of the shorter rush distance by grounds, it's a very unique kind of situation on that map, and I'm sure we're going to be entering in a very different kind of PvP here as we come into Golden Aura. It's game number 2.
Indeed. Pretty much the polar opposite of Ghost River, at least in the current map pool.
Golden
massive.
Is definitely a little bit bigger here. Has a much more secure third base available as well, so you can end up towards the mid game. As we saw in that previous game that we just covered, our third bases didn't really come into play at all. They were just finishing up as the game was ending.
Well, yeah, it kind of came into play a little bit for Creator, because obviously he needed to make use of that battery overcharge, but yeah, he didn't get to mine from it. So, is a base really a base if you don't use it as a base? Think about that one.
We're diving into our second game. As we mentioned, it's going to be on Golden Aura. Hero takes the lead in the series, but it's a best of 5. We have plenty of games ahead of us, plenty more to come. Hoping for a back and forth.
Indeed, we are. As we continue our series now onto Golden Aura, we're in the top left-hand corner of the map, swatting all the way in. This top left, we of course have our red Protoss player coming down from the land of Korea. He is going to be representing CranKy Gaming. We have Hero.
And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing Club NV. Down in this series, but it's a best of 5. Plenty more games to come. It is a Creator.
And we're now on a map which is much larger, has a much longer rush distance, and has a much more secure third, as you were talking about, or as you were mentioning, so I can't wait to see how that changes the dynamic. I'm anticipating a few more adepts in the early game.
Well, we could definitely see adept openers here from our players. For now, it is going to be a 2-gate opener from the side of Hero, just settling into his own setup. Creator should be looking to do that himself. Never mind, Creator going for a gate expand. He's going for the Cybercore instead.
Creator likes to live dangerously. It's all we're going to say about that. is all I'm going to say about that.
Living life on the edge here. So this is the setup for the Max Packs opener. This should be a gate into Cybercore, into Stargate, into a much faster expansion on the low ground. It is a very greedy opener here from the side of Creator, and it's on Hero to punish this. Is going to be on Hero to punish. For now, we see the probe delaying the expansion for as long as we can. We should be throwing down a pylon as well to delay even further the initial... Never mind, the probe does back away. Nexus is thrown down in time.
Okay, well, that's confirmation for Hero at the very least, and he knows that Creator is going to be expanding. He knows that he's going to be up when it comes to production, so this is something that Hero has an opportunity and absolutely wants to abuse for as long as possible.
And okay, we have our answer. So Hero's going for a faster Stargate. So he's going for a Stargate opener instead. It looks like this is not to go for an all-in. This is just a harass. With this Stargate, it should be for Oracle production, and with those Oracles, we can pick up some workers.
Yeah, we could try to. I say try to, but yeah, it's actually a pretty effective thing to do when your opponent only has one gateway. The Stalker count is going to be limited for one, and I mean, just how do they hit back? That's the question.
Exactly. As the first two Stalkers have arrived, they do threaten the natural. We have a couple of sentries here in position. Shield battery is almost done, but not done yet. Up.
And because of that, one sentry will go down. I like the force fields here. And I like the body blocking with the probes as well. Both Stalkers should be going down for the cost of one sentry, which is not too bad here for Creator.
We're taking a ninja base.
Yeah, taking ninja base. Hero's taking ninja base.
Hero, how do we bounce back after Creator gets away with a greedy build? Well, Stargate with Oracles and the gold as well. Creator checking his vision. He has not scouted. He has not checked. He does not know the base has been taken. Not yet. And we'll see first if Creator can keep up with the harassment and with the aggression as the Adepts are shading in.
Yeah, Haluk Stalkers for some reason. I guess can take a couple of hits, but Hero is wise to that. He is focusing now on the probes instead. Takes a... not exactly a lead, but he is slowly but surely evening things out.
Yeah, I mean, Hero, he gets 6 probe kills in the main and the natural. Going for the goal base as well. As you mentioned, he doesn't have a lead yet, but he soon will. Especially if Creator is just unable to scout this. If he doesn't piece this together, then Hero's going to get away with so much.
Very much so is.
Up.
Creator gonna try to get situated, try to get comfortable here, saturate his bases. Hero gonna make it as difficult as possible. But obviously, Hero doesn't need to do massive damage because, as you pointed out, that gold base is already gonna be more than enough damage, to say the least.
As double Oracle dips into the natural, we get 5 probe kills. Oracle is gonna fall. Oh, that is a brutal loss there for Hero, but you can argue that he's done enough damage already. Meanwhile, we do see Adepts, they deny the scout. Creator was checking the left-hand side, but the Adepts will force back these Stalkers.
I mean, that's kind of suspicious, right?
Kind of.
Ish?
Yeah.
You know? It's suspicious, but I guess it's not confirmation, which is kind of important to know right now if you're a Creator.
And meanwhile, Creator now moving out with his Mass Stalker army. He will outscale these Adepts. The Adepts are going to be in a bit of trouble. They do have to retreat. They have to get the hell out of here, and we do shade across the map, forcing Creator back home.
Yeah, like so. Creator just completely unable to punish the greed of Hero so far. Finally, starting to take a bit of a work deficit as, yeah, Hero's just been doing such a good job bouncing back and forth, and that signature Hero control has been immaculate.
It has been, and now Hero, he's just massing up on 2 bases. We have Gateways finishing up. We have the Immortals now on the way. We have 2 Immortals. We have the Prism as well. Hero has gotten away with so much. Creator taking it a third, expanding. Little does he know that Hero is going for a 2-base all-in.
Yeah, Creator just hasn't been able to get eyes on Hero for the longest time in this game. He has no idea about the gold. He has no idea about the production that Hero has. Finally about to make his way down. Battery overcharge. We pop to keep the probes alive. I mean, we might as well at this point, right?
It's time for the
this
base
is something
trade.
that Creator can absolutely do to bounce back.
Yeah, as we dive into the main waves, we're going to we depower two of these gateways and we bust into the main as well. There's Shiwari, there's Nova Charge. At the same time, Hero, he's going for the natural. We're going and entering into a base trade. Hero does have a free base, though, that is so far unscouted, and he will depower almost everything here in between these bases. The Immortal is not going to pop out.
That it will not. And that's such a core unit right now for Creator to have.
Yeah, workers are falling left and right. We have Creator came to the main base. It looks like he does break through the main army, just looking to depower these gateways as quickly as possible. Hero does not have a backup gateway here towards the bottom left, but he does have that robot, can still make more immortals, and he has control of the natural. Up.
EPT does. Recalls back home. Creator well aware that he cannot fight that army, so he will back away. Both players bleeding out a lot of workers. Free Immortal.
The Immortal is...
free-ish.
Yeah, the Immortal does go down. Not a bad pickoff there. Hero bleeding out 22 pros. Yeah, it's 20 workers against 23. Creator is on a 3-base setup, but Hero has the gold, and Creator, has he scouted this yet? Checking his vision, he has not. He might believe it was just a 1-base all-in.
Yeah, this is not the time to get confident if you are Creator. This is not the time to think, okay, I've depowered all your gateways and now killed a bunch of your workers. Now you can't muster up enough of a force. I like this from Creator. He is being diligent with his scouting. He is... I gotta check that gold base.
Oh, that's a tell.
Kind of.
Yeah. Seeing Immortals here out of everything, like, that is very suspect, and Creator should be that much more aware of what's going on. Ooh, wobbling forward, does snipe the Oracle as well. Good pick off, but Hero, he's amassing his army, he's moving out across the map. He is similar here with the army supply of his opponent, but pushing into a shield battery, into an overcharge. Creator does have the defense advantage.
Yeah, we saw it in game, or we saw it a little bit earlier on, but now the tables have completely swapped. Good force fields coming out from Creator. One Immortal gonna go down before it can get hot picked up.
Yeah, One Immortal does fall. A great start here for Creator. We're gonna be diving on in. Overcharge is gonna be popped. The surround as well with the Stalkers. Creator, he's shutting this down.
Great snipe on that Warp Prism. Just completely shuts down not only the sustainability of this army, but the micro ability of the Immortals. 4 Immortals are out now, though, and that's pretty much critical mass.
Yeah, 4 Immortals is an insane amount here. Gateways are getting repowered. Hero still has a comparable economy to Creator. Now, what's important is that Hero still maintains this Immortal count so he can live to fight another day and rebuild that army. The force fields, they catch another Immortal.
Like so. And Stalkers are catching another.
Yeah, we are trying to catch up here. At the same time, reinforcements come in from Hero. He does hold his own. Oh, a lot of Stalkers did go down in that trade. We're back up to 4 Immortals. This army is still threatening. It's still terrifying. Creator still has to take this seriously.
Yeah, he really does. One slip up and this critical mass of Immortals will wipe out pretty much the entirety of the rest of his army.
Really will. We do trigger the shields on that first Immortal here on the left hand towards the north. There are sentries available for force fields. Hero does have the prism, but he does need it with the main army, otherwise he's going to be picked apart.
Like so. One Immortal already isolated by the force fields. Thankfully, Warp Prism wasn't too far behind. Was able to pick up the majority of these Immortals.
Yeah, now we're down to 3. We had 4, but down to 3 Immortals instead, going for a big warp in of Vanilla Adepts. They're coming in.
And simply something here. Hero, I think, has to recognize that if he can survive this while also crippling Creator's economy, then he'll be in a great position. But that's a very big if. Immortals are now starting to go down, but the Adepts stand strong here for Hero. Is it gonna be enough?
They do stand strong. The juggling is going to be shaded towards the natural base. Probes are going down. We're dealing economic damage, but the Immortal count is now in favor of Creator. We need to get more done with these Adepts.
And so far, it's not really been enough. Adepts do pop out once again, just shading back and forth between the bases. This third base of Creator is just completely not mining, as Hero still mining from the gold base, working on replacing the Warp Prism from earlier.
Prism is on the way. We're committed here with Massive. We have one more Immortal, but again, that Immortal count is just a massive lead that a Creator has, and that may just be enough to carry him through this game. The economy as well is getting back up and running. Adept's going to be threatening a shade. Hero has probes, but he is running out of mineral patches at that gold.
Yeah, surprisingly. As Creator once again will try to contain, or Hero, sorry, will once again try to contain Creator for as long as possible. And it's kind of working. I mean, that third base has been up for a while, but Creator has never felt comfortable enough to mine from it for quite some time. Yeah,
and Hero, he's just stuck rebuilding his Immortals. That's the problem here, is that he has to build his Immortal one at a time. He does resaturate his main, but he may need to take his own third base as well. The game may have to just slow down for him. He doesn't want it to, but he just doesn't have the same momentum he used to.
Yeah, 2 Immortals, though, can try to shave off the soccer count, while a couple of Adepts try to distract the rest of the army towards the north. More Adepts are out. Still no Twilight Council, I believe.
Yeah, no Twilight Council. There's a third base on the way for Hero, so it looks like he is planning to try to sustain himself and, of course, go for a bit of a longer game, preparing for the worst here, as we do see Creator working towards a mass Blink Stalker army in a head-to-head fight. I do favor the Blink Stalkers over those Adepts.
But what if you factor in 2 Immortals?
Now 3.
Undecided the Adepts. Now 3?
Yeah.
And a whole lot of sentries as well with force field potential.
Yeah. There is potential here with this army. Creator, he's respecting, he's backing off, he's keeping his Immortals in the back line here at the natural. Just making sure he doesn't waste them as we snipe the Prism and the Immortals.
And they're starting to all fall down. Great pickoffs right at the start, and without that backbone of a Protoss army, the rest of them, I was going to say start to crumble, but once again, I'm deceived by the Adepts.
Yeah, we do actually manage to catch some of those Stalkers. Another Immortal comes in to reinforce, but that was 3 Immortals going down. We commit to the shade, the Immortals exposed. We're going for the mineral line instead, but there's nothing to kill. We get 6 probes, and that's all there is at the third.
And pretty much nothing else. Now, Creator is gas stocked quite a bit, so this all in, we'll have to do a lot more.
Well, we do recall back home as Creator does threaten the goal base. We get here just in time. We have our own defensive Immortal, but we can juggle. We have the Prism, and with that, Creator, he will maintain this position. Hero, he just recalled, by the way, so he has to stand his ground. He has to stand tall here at the gold.
Oh. Unless his opponent bypasses that gold entirely.
I mean, true. I mean, there's barely anything here. There's 1 mineral patch left. May as well just go for a big counterattack, and we're going for another base trade.
This has just been the theme of the evening, hasn't it? At least for Creator's games, just base traded up.
True.
Let's go.
Adepts are killing workers, but Stalkers, they can kill buildings. They can shut them down. We came to the main base. We take down the cyber core, the gateways, any kind of mining as well. And Hero in a head-to-head fight just doesn't have enough here. He will soon have a 3rd Immortal, though. That will help.
I'm almost too scared to look at this last stab here, like.
Oh my god!
How many Immortals have to fall?
Jesus. 11 Immortals have fallen for Hero. 11!
Oof.
That's crazy. And Creator's almost won.
Only one of them. Yeah. I wasn't making that many to begin with, in fairness, but now he's got 3.
He has 3.
He lost 1.
Speaking of, though, the Adepts, they get into the main base, and we're killing every single worker. Creator down to 3, down to 2, down to 1, down to... Ooh, almost 0 probes. But now here comes the final fight. Hero, his army is cut in half.
Indeed it is, but it also means that he has flanking potential. Maybe, as the Adepts do shade in from behind, and it will mess up the pathing quite a bit, but this one force field also messes up the pathing of these Immortals. 3 of them couldn't get in range.
Yeah, the Immortals, basically just cut the army in half. The Adepts went down, the Immortals, they could do nothing. And now Creator, he's going for the kill. He has a massive supply lead here. He's got 3 Immortals. He has plenty of Blink Stalkers. He has Micro potential. He has the Prism as well. It was a good effort here by Hero, but again, he was a little bit too careless with his immortals, especially early on, leading out so many of them, and this is his final stand.
Yeah, remember the Hero. Question mark, as GG is called. Creator gonna tie up a best of 5, sideways 1-1.
GG, well played. We are tied up here. Still not the ace match, still plenty more games ahead of us, but we are looking to make a series out of this.
Indeed we are. It's not going to be completely one-sided like we were. Some of us were a little bit worried that it could be. There's going to be a nice little back and forth. It does. I'm calling it now. We're going into our ace match eventually.
We definitely could. We definitely could here, as we're getting ready for at least game number 3. Settling on in. It is going to be on Crimson Court.
Here we go. Another one of the quirkier maps in the current pool. I just realized that one of the screenshots is, or at least looks like, a baby breathing fire. Oh, nope, I'm blind. Ah, a little bit. I saw what I saw.
I believe that you saw what you saw. I believe.
Yeah.
As we are, looking to get ready for our 3rd game, and we'll see who takes the lead in the series, who gains momentum as well. That was a wild game number 2 on Golden Aura, and Crimson Court is another interesting map as well, where you can take a very secure 3rd. You could even try to take the center 3rd base as well earlier on for that Rich Vesting Gas Geyser. I'll be honest, I haven't seen in a PvP a player try to take that, but I mean, it's Hero and it's Creator. Anything could happen.
Anything whatsoever. Have you seen it in PvZ?
Yes.
There we go.
There you go.
What about TVT?
No.
There we go.
As hopefully we're able to start with our player ready. I say that.
Yeah.
Set him up,
Say that
papi.
because. Okay, there we go. So we say that because obviously our players are ready, as they are eager. They are saying in the chat that they're ready. One of them was not. One of them wasn't even listed as a player.
Oh, good. Oh, okay. Hopefully everything's okay. Creator was actually saying, I just translated, said he needed a moment there, which is why we took a little bit longer to start. But Creator said that he needed a moment to rest his hands.
Yeah.
Calm his hands down.
Oh yeah, makes sense. Alright, as we continue our best of 5 grand finals here on Crimson Court. We're here in the bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom left. We, of course, have our red Protoss player coming out from the land of Korea, representing Dragon KZ Gaming. We have Hero.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing Club NV. Tying up the series 1-1. Tying things up, and can he take a lead? It is Creator.
Oh. Here we go. So far we've been seeing a lot of, I guess we can categorize them as aggression. We haven't seen too many mid-game plays. I think the most high-tech unit that we've gotten out of either of our players so far has been Immortals.
Yeah, we haven't really settled into our. I mean, once again, we haven't settled into 3 bases properly, right? Like, sure, we had a 3rd Nexus existed for both Hero and Creator, but they were never mining. Like, they were they were there eventually for Hero as well, but there was never really any saturation going on. Or even then, like, by the time they were being saturated, the worker count was so low just because of how intense the game has been so far. We've yet to really embrace the mid game in the PvP so far.
What is the mid game? in a PvP.
It's a myth, Bobby.
I'm from the NA server, so.
Okay. I'm from the Korean server. We don't know what it is either. It doesn't exist.
Oh.
I think only in Europe.
In the mythical lands, you know. It's like a unicorn.
Is it like a unicorn?
Do
they only exist in Europe?
Yeah.
you're like, Europe doesn't exist. What are you talking about? Like, what do you mean? It's a myth.
Yeah.
I see.
It's fairy tale land, you know?
True.
That's why Disney sets all the stories in them.
Exactly. Let me just go back to Monkey Town. Let me just go.
Yeah.
As a creator is going to this time open up double gates. As a reminder, winding it all the way back, a creator did go for a greedy opener in game number 2. This time we do have a 2-gate opener. Likewise, same can be said for Hero. Hero going for a slightly faster expansion. Creator going for tech instead.
Yeah, been a pattern that we've been continuing so far pretty regularly in the series, but we can see what tech Hero is going for with that proxy pylon.
Yeah, the pylon is proxied right outside the main base of Creator. Creator is going Oracle first. Hallucination will confirm this, so Hero is fully aware of the aggression coming his way. And we're going for a proxy gateway. So Hero has the opportunity here to be hyper aggressive. Getting into a 3-gate setup, is moving out across the map with his army. He does almost catch a Stalker. Fortunately gets thrown down, but does miss the army.
Just barely, though, as we have confirmation that is a forward gateway. And with these sentries for Haluk, well, we don't have a Twilight Council yet, but blinking straight to the main is definitely an option later down the line here for Hero.
Yeah, for now, Hero, he's trying to brute force his way through, trying to overwhelm and kill Creator here, and now the Oracle is not going to help in the defense. He does focus down one of the Stalkers. Oracle does turn back around, but is going to be targeted.
Oof. Yeah, it does get targeted. Stalkers will snipe a sentry here from Hero, but unfortunately not the one that was providing Guardian Shell. Shield Battery in an uber exposed position as well. Actually gets taken out by the sentry, if you can believe that. And now it just doesn't look like Creator has much to defend. I mean, Hero's warping in 3 units at a time. He has a much better production, and Shield Battery was taken out earlier on, and so that's not going to help out. And of course, Creator doesn't really have defender's advantage, considering where Hero's warping in from.
Exactly. Here come the reinforcements. He takes out another Stalker. We're down to 2 Stalkers remaining against the 3 of a Hero. Boys are being pulled. That will help. Shield Battery does finish up just not in time. The Stalker goes down and is not saved. And Hero is just keeping the momentum going here, keeping the pressure up. Back at home, he's squeezing out a couple of workers here and there. Twilight Council has been thrown down for a blink to transition to a later game in case we need to, but the reality is that we may just have too much to begin with as we move in. And that Shield Battery, it's doing what it can, but there's only so much it can do as we do pop the overcharge.
Like so. But eventually, overcharge is going to run out, and when it does, I mean, Hero's already in a bit of an avalanche. Hero already is an avalanche that Creator's kind of already caught in. So in one pylon as well, Hero has enough Stalkers to 2-shot the Stalkers of Creator, despite the Shield Battery.
Yeah.
I'm going to go straight to the main base, right on top of this ramp, and yeah, it's just such a really good position for Hero to utilize.
This one is just math here. The numbers, they do not lie. We stutter step into the main base. Robes are going down left and right. 11, 12 workers do fall. We're down to 3 Stalkers in the main. We will eventually clean this up, but this is becoming far too much. This is critical damage here. Adepts, a shade into the natural, and we're denying any kind of mining here for Creator.
Yeah, Void Race out, and it will help against the Stalkers, at least temporarily, but these Adepts are barely tickled by the Prismatic Beam.
Adepts are going to be forced back. We have more Adepts shading in. These are vanilla Adepts, but we will once again be looking for some economic damage. We shade in, we can focus on some probes, and probes are falling one after the other. 21 probes went down.
That's game ending.
That's more than what Creator has. That's
It's true. That's math.
That is math. Back at home, Hero, he's got Blink that's halfway done. We're throwing down our own Robo as well. Additional gateways, soon to be a third base as well, which I don't think we even need, but I mean, we're setting up for it anyway. Hero just securing himself here on Crimson Court.
Indeed, he is. Oof. Void Ray has to be very careful with how it paths.
Does have to be careful. We'll have to back off, pivot back around. We'll at least survive the aggression of these Stalkers. We'll survive the onslaught here as we do see Hero just backing off, just establishing himself with 3 bases. Creator, how do we bounce back in this game? There are some options available, but I mean, theoretically available, like Dark Templar or outmaneuvering your opponent with Blink Stalkers or Disruptors, but we just don't have the economy to sustain any of that.
Yeah, unfortunately not. As much as the old axiom is, when behind Dark Shrine, you still hit a point of diminishing returns when you're this far behind. Really good blink right on top of the Void Ray before it could get overcharged or receive any support from the shield batteries, and another key blink will start two-shotting the units of Creator despite the shield batteries. GG. Hero now finds himself on match point.
GG, well played. Hero 1 game away from becoming this week's ESL Open Cup Asia champion. Creator has to fight back here and now to force the ace match, to force game number 5. I want to believe we can get there, but again, it's been a very aggressive, very chaotic series from both players, to be fair. Both players have had their chances and opportunities to be in the face of the other, and yeah, a wild build there from Hero.
Which logically means that in this game, we're going to see another swapped dynamic. Well, potentially as Creator, yeah. And I hope everything's okay, but yeah, he is saying that his hand is in quite a bit of pain, so he is requesting a quick little break here.
Yeah, we had a break earlier, like a very short one, and it looks like it is actually becoming more of an issue here, so Creator does need some time to rest up a little bit and to make sure he's okay. Of course, the health of the players is always paramount, more important.
Yeah. It's a good opportunity to remind everybody to also stretch.
True.
Roaches. Been sitting down for a while, getting situated in.
Yeah, if you're out there, if you maybe even game a lot, so use the PC a lot, just make sure to look away from the monitor every now and then to rest your eyes. Make sure to stretch your wrists, to stretch yourself in general.
Yeah. Yourself a good little massage, whack your back.
Excuse me?
With one of those back massages things.
Don't think you
or if you have another person around, you can ask them to massage it for you.
I don't think you whack yourself with that. I don't think that's an interesting way to phrase it. Yeah, you get the massage gun and you just whack yourself. Oh my god.
Oh, you're thinking of the massage gun.
What do you think?
I was thinking of the stick.
The stick?
The weight on the stick, yeah. The weight of the stick.
Oh,
or the stick that they put like a weight at the end.
Yeah,
That's like metal.
Yeah. I see. That's crazy. I have seen like physical therapists use stuff like that. As a way to
see people get whacked with like branches at spas.
I think that's something else, but sure, yeah.
Yeah. I don't I don't quite have I haven't quite gotten the the down,
Okay, yeah. Not yet.
I don't know how to crack it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. You're fine. I think it'll hurt more than it'll help you. It's okay. It's okay.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah. But yeah, we're nearing the end of the event. There's 1 or maybe 2 games remaining here, and I do hope the Creator's okay. I mean, it has been said before the Creator does at times have some wrist or some hand pains. Yeah,
it's unfortunate. But I guess that's what happens, when you've been on a team with Maru, Marine King before that, Rogue as well. Start to develop their, ailments.
Yeah, I thought you were referring to Prime, because if you remember, Creator, Beyond, and Mario, they were all
Creator
on the
was
same
on
team.
Prime. I forgot about Beyond. There we go. That's who I was thinking of, not Rogue. Rogue was on Team 8. Beyond was on Prime. Yeah.
Oh. But it looks like Creator might be ready again.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, offer him some love in the chat if you can, as yeah, we're asking him. We know that you have an elliptical in your room. Was it like a hand injury, like a sport injury, or StarCraft pain, as BMO phrases it?
Mm-hmm.
And we have confirmation from Creator. It's like, yeah, he just played many games, so it's feeling the strain.
Yeah. So, wish him the best here. And it looks like he's feeling well enough to continue the series. And here we go. We're diving into our next game, into Oceanborn, as game number 4.
Game numero 4. As we are going to be spawning into Oceanborn. We're over here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. Spawning. All the way in the bottom right, we of course have our red Protoss player coming out from the land of Korea. It's of course going to be representing CranKy Z Gaming. Currently on match point and only needs one more win to become this week's champion. We have Hero.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing Club NV. Down in this series, but can he bring it back? Can we force the ace match in the grand finals? That's what I'm hoping for. It is Creator.
Taking a page out of Beyond's book and just playing through the injury.
And hopefully everything's okay. Maybe he can rest up as well. It'd be honestly really important to rest up for the next couple of days, just because DreamHack Dallas is in less than a week. It's right around the corner as well.
Oh, yeah.
I mentioned before, we're not privy to the full player list of who's going to be competing in the open bracket, in the open stage, but I'm sure Creator is potentially one of those players that's going to be traveling.
Yeah, we'll keep our eye out for him. It would be a shame if we missed Creator there, but yeah, it's also unfortunate as well, right? Because it is such a short weekend tournament, and if you don't get acclimated soon, it's, you might potentially feel some of the effects of time zones, of jet lag and whatnot. So yeah, that's why Bjorn, players like Bjorn, I should say, were fortunate enough that they were able to fly out a little bit earlier to start getting acclimated. But not all our players are as fortunate here. As you do see another proxy coming up from Hero.
Here we go. So here he goes for a proxy pylon across the map. Now, it's only going to be a proxy Stargate. This is not an all-in. This is a way to get ahead economically. It's going to be Adepts on the ground and the Oracle from the skies into the main base mineral line. So it's going to be an aggressive start here from Hero. Meanwhile, Creator checking his vision. He did scout. He confirmed that the pylon was missing. So he's looking for the pylon, looking for the proxy.
Yeah, just scouting around wherever he can. Interesting that he is scouting around the outskirts of Hero's bases rather than his own base.
Yes, the Adepts, they do shade across them. They catch the Stalker as well. We're going to be able to hold our own, though. Second Stalker has arrived. We are able to force this back. Adepts are denied entry into the main base and tweakily check the vision. Creator, he did not check the corner of the map. He is not aware of the proxy or its location.
Oof. Unfortunately, going to be the first player to expand much quicker than Hero as well, so yeah, we'll see what he can muster up. Creator, interestingly enough, seems to have a bit of a penchant for getting more sentries, or being a little bit sentry heavy in the early game for PvP.
Yeah, it's a great way to scout your opponents to get a read on what's going on. We do see the main army of Hero pushing forward and will be gaining a bit of ground. Shield Battery will be able to finish up. It is going to be a robo opener here from Creator as well. Very defensive. We can get into Immortals in case it's a one base all in. So Creator just playing as safe as possible here. Again, he's not aware of what exactly is going on, and he does have a safety Shield Battery in the mineral line.
Yeah. Super important. We do have 2 oracles out for Hero, so they can one-shot through the shield battery, one-shot probes, but we also have a couple stalkers in position. Good control, great control here from Hero.
Yeah, 5 workers go down. One of the oracles gets low, but it survives, and that's all that does matter. So far, some good damage dealt from our red Protoss player. Back at him, Hero getting into his own immortals to get into his own immortal production. Sorry, then Robo to get into his own immortal production to survive the potential counterattack from Creator. Oh.
Yeah, which is probably gonna happen sooner rather than later, right? After losing 9 probes like this, that shit completed.
Yeah, and
even more probes to the oracles as well. Hero really picking Creator apart here.
Yeah, the stalkers, they were caught out of position. We dive in, we get 11 workers in total. We're not done. We have 2 more adepts here on the low ground. The immortal is revealed. It looks like we should shut down at least 1 adept. That does remove the one-shot potential. Creator is defending. He's holding on, not before losing another probe.
Cool, 12 probes. That's the amount of workers you start with. And the oracles are not done whatsoever.
Exactly, they get away, they still have energy, they still have shields that can always go back in and get more damage done. Meanwhile, Creator, he's had enough, he's pushing out with everything he has. It's only 2 gateways, so he cannot reinforce too much, but he does get across the map, but we have a shield battery waiting for him.
We do have a shield battery, and Creator a little bit overzealous here. Will lose one of his sentries before he has his full army forced together. Yeah, Immortal now out for Hero as well, and I don't see Creator making any more of them.
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about the Robo follow-up out of Hero just reading Creator like a book, ready for the counterattack. We pop the overcharge, we keep the Immortal alive. Good juggling so far. Shield battery does get targeted down, and it's all or nothing for Creator.
Indeed, it is. He does have quite a lot. Phoenix gonna be helping out, shaving away at that Warp Prism. Oracles do come back home, and Hero has held.
Yeah, he shuts down the entire army. We lift up, we shut down the Immortal as well. That was everything the Creator had. And back at home, we have 15 workers. We have less than half the economy of Hero.
Yeah, we do. That was a scary moment there for a second where Creator had literally 0 army supply. And he sees the writing on the wall. GG is called. Hero will be taking the series 3-1 and will be your ESL Open Cup Asia 229 champion. GG.
GG, well played. Congratulations to Hero as he takes the series 3-1. Did come in as one of the big favorites, but it was a very competitive tournament. Very competitive bracket here. We spoke about it before, but even Hero did stumble his way to the finals. Every single series went to the ace match, and even here in the finals, Creator did pose a threat and did make a series out of it. So, yeah, very dynamic tournament here this week. GG.
Yeah, GG. Very dynamic tournament. I'm glad that we saw a lot of, not necessarily fresh faces, but a lot of players who we don't normally expect to, who don't regularly sign up for ESL Asia, coming back in and adding a little bit more spice into the mix, if you will. Bring some of their more unique playstyles as well. I love the paths that we were able to witness. I loved following Rex and then subsequently following Creator in what was probably a round of upsets. I mean, just a lot of upsets coming out throughout this tournament in general. So, yeah, good sign, I would say. A good sign and a good prelude to ESL Masters Spring in Dallas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. It is something to keep an eye on, and definitely players to look forward to watching more of as well. I do wish the best to Creator. Again, there were some wrist issues or hand issues that were occurring throughout this series, and hopefully Creator can get a handle on them and can recover and can feel a little bit better coming into our next coming tournaments, into next coming DreamHack on the horizon. So best of luck to Creator. I mean, he's got a lot of fans out there, he's got a lot of support as well, and I hope he takes care.
Yeah, lots of love coming out there.
Yeah, for sure. But with that, GG, well played. We made it. Again, I apologize for the stream going down earlier. It was a bit of a shaky broadcast, but we had a lot of amazing games nonetheless. We had Rex popping off. That was the highlight, or one of the highlights of today's tournament. And thank you, Yaku, for joining me today. Thank you.
Yeah, great to be here. In one of the more, I mean, like you said, one of the more peculiar, one of the more interesting brackets that I think we've had in quite some time here in ESL Asia. We didn't necessarily have the favorite player always making it through.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's always what we do want. Meanwhile, if you're curious, if you want some more StarCraft action, then we are going to be live tomorrow. I'm going to try to be live tomorrow with ESL Open Cup Americas. And we're going to be a little bit lighter this week when it comes to broadcasting because of DreamHack Dallas. So this weekend, there's no WTL, there's no Kung Fu Cup, there's no Sparkling Tuna Cup, there's no MSO, there's no SDO. A lot of our events are going to be taking a break to give the stage, to give the limelight, or to DreamHack.
Yeah, to some of these smaller tournaments,
True. You know, we just want to give them a chance, you know, at getting that viewership and getting that attention. True.
Yeehaw is what I'll have to say to that.
There you go. Yeah, so we should be live tomorrow with ESL Americas. We will be having a catch-up cast on Wednesday. Unfortunately, especially because our weekend was so busy, we missed out on KSL, so I wasn't able to cast KSL on Saturday, so we're going to be going over a replay cast on Wednesday to catch up for that. Also, when I say we, the CranKy Ducklings, are going to be casting DreamHack Dallas Day 1. We're going to be covering the open stage, the knockout bracket, the early rounds of the tournament. We'll be there.
There we go. Stay tuned for that. We're gonna cover some of these matches that unfortunately won't quite be on the main stage, but nonetheless, gonna be a stacked weekend of StarCraft, and we need all hands on deck to be able to cover everything.
Exactly. We'll do our best to cover some of our Ducklings as well, or even ex-Ducklings. If Miguelito, if Vindicta's there, if Dolan's there, if some of the more native NA players are there, we'll try to cover them in the earlier rounds and follow them on their journeys, or even catch some of the other players that are going to be traveling as well. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting time, definitely. I believe it's only day 1. I believe we're only casting day 1. I think only day 1 has that stage.
Oh, that's our confirmation. Yeah, that's all that we have confirmed. Is what I should say.
Exactly. And we might do some day 2. For now, it's just day 1, definitely. And we'll see if we can get some other Ducklings involved. Again, it's going to be a long broadcast because DreamHack Dallas is usually like it's a full day of casting, just a full day. Yeah. So we might
Everything's bigger over there.
It is. So depending on the time slots, you know, maybe Yaku can jump on at some point, maybe Asher as well, maybe some other people. Maybe I can reach out to Chase, and we can have like a rotating kind of cast of casters. Maybe.
Revolver.
There you go. And with that, I think
I'm excited. Yeah.
With that, we're going to be wrapping
up.
You know,
it's going to be our first big premier kind of cross-regional event since IEM, which happened a little bit earlier this year compared to last year. So.
And even then, IEM, like IEM is also like a little bit different as well, right? Like it's it's more of a finals, you know. Yeah, there's no like massive open bracket for IEM either, so this is going to be a little bit more accessible to the people and to the players.
Yeah, so we had a little bit of a drought. I don't know that much about Season Slate. Is it? Are we still in spring?
Don't worry, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. Like, it's just spring. Okay. It's fine.
Okay.
But this is the last big event before the World Cup.
World Cup, yeah. So our last chance to get a couple more seeds. I do believe the top 3 players, you know, assuming that they didn't already confirm their seed in earlier events, will be going to the Esports World Cup later down the year. So yeah, very important for some of our players who haven't quite made it yet.
Yes, it's very important for those EPT points. I believe it's still called EPT. I was like, did we rename that? Yeah, still called the EPT Tour, points. Still the ESL Pro Tour leading into the World Cup. But for now, thank you for watching, everyone. Thank you for the support. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves, enjoyed the broadcast. Thank you, Yaku, for joining me as well. Yaku, do you have anything you want to say before we head off for the night?
I already said yeehaw. Watch DreamHack Dallas partner.
Okay, partner. We'll see. We'll see you then. We'll see you at DreamHack Dallas. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Bye. Bye. Ciao.
Bella.